Is life meaningless? Yes, it is. How did you detect it? When you are warmed with all kinds of products, but after short stints of fresh, you are swallowed by huge emptiness. When you have updated all tech gadgets into the newest versions, but after vanity gone, you realize the simple functions you need literally always the same. When you earn a great amount of money, but you find yourself are still not happy. When you date and marry different people for years, but still you have no idea what love is. When you live in a role model life with seemingly everything, job, family, friends, children, but you have been confused during the late night, what this for? When you get old and visit all kinds of life mentors, but you find unsolvable problems about life still unsolvable. Honey, all these are correct. Not only you, but many other masters in philosophy and psychology have detected the meaninglessness of our life since more than 100 years ago. Arthur Schopenhauer, Martin Heidegger, Soren Kierkegaard, Sigmund Freud, and Alfred Adler. Beyond the meaninglessness of life, some talented people, such as Albert Camus, the winner of Nobel Prize in Literature, believe that life is absurd. Even such great thoughts and beliefs have shaped the rise of existentialism, sadism, and nihilism. See, you are not alone at all. But why? Why so many talented people, including you and me, could have such detection? To answer this question, let's go back to 400 years ago. 400 years ago, people have started to have such beliefs, especially in Europe, where they lived after the Industrial Revolution. During that era, people's general life demands, particularly material ones, have been met than ever before. Food and drinks, clothes, transit, education, and jobs. Compared with their ancestors who had to spend most of the time securing food and shelters, people then were able to take more time on entertainment, academic studies, and technical inventions. Accordingly, such rich secular modern life has changed people's spiritual pursuits, transforming from God beliefs to atheism. There was the famous quote from Friedrich Nietzsche, "The breaking up with the God." In secular life, on one hand, it liberated people's minds, but on the other hand, it made people feel huge empathy and void in spiritual world because they have no idea where to go next. Is science and technology the new belief? Unfortunately, not until they have discovered the next spiritual destination. The World War I and World War II suddenly came to destroy people's general life. In the face of crucial massacres and aftermath wounds, Albert Camus, a French journalist, a writer, and a philosopher, found that life is absurd. Humans are creatures who spend their lives trying to convince themselves that their existence is not absurd. Nowadays, after more than 70 years of World War II, with economic recovery and development worldwide, you, by chance, are born in this postmodern information age, where agriculture, industry, and the information industry all developed as societal pillars, where sufficient, even excessive materials, say food, drinks, clothes, houses, tech gadgets, parties, movies, travelings, social contacts, all easily access to even overwhelm to your daily life. In the material world, you are here in the face of a most convenient life than those masters. But in spiritual world, you are in line with them, specifically their spiritual struggles. Life is meaningless, even absurd. A huge sense of void will swallow you and dampen your atheism, passion, and motivation about your love, your life, and everything. So what you can do after you get to know life is meaningless? Suicide? Nope. All those masters didn't choose to suicide. You know what? On the contrary, they lived for a long time during their eras. So why do you do so? Are you smarter and wiser than them? In fact, honey, your detection is a milestone of your self-growth, which brings new opportunities right in front of you. Congratulations! Rebirth! When you detect your life is meaningless, it doesn't mean your precious and current pursuits have turned down their shining. Rather, they come into you because never have you realized the deep demands on yourself. And actually, you need to filter what in this world won't complete you. The moment you detect the meaninglessness of life is a timing to wake yourself up. Albert Camus once said, "The realization that life is absurd is and can't be an end, but only a beginning." This is the truth nearly all great men have taken as their start point. And my favorite Chinese writer and philosopher Mu Xing also tackled it with wit. He said, "Fortunately, life is meaningless, so that it can allow each to give meaning. If life is meaningful, but the meaning doesn't suit my interests, then it will be very embarrassing for me." In fact, giving meaning to ourselves is not only a spiritual self-growth milestone for any individual. Also, in grand human historical civilizations picture, is for every generation. 2000 years ago, in ancient Greece, all philosopher ancestors discovered and argued together many fascinating knowledge branches: mathematics, politics, chemistry, and physics, and so on, and built the primary subject structures, filled their life with meaningful knowledge. Such kingdom of knowledge fired the engine of humanity in scientific and technological developments, including the Enlightenment, the Renaissance in 17th to 19th centuries in Europe, during and after Industrial Revolution. Early liberalist thinkers such as John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Adam Smith saw humankind beginning in the states of nature, then finding meanings for existence through labor and property, and using social contracts to create an environment that supports those efforts. They filled their life with meaningful social developments. In 19th century to 20th century, in the United States, pioneers and leaders believed pragmatism, concerning the self most with truth, and positioning that only in struggle with the environment do data and derived theories have meaning, and that the consequences like utility and practicality. Pragmatism possesses that anything useful and practical is not always true. What most contributed to the most human good in long courses is true. And more options in psychology, in neuroscience, in biology, and in physics. Welcome to watch my previous video, Blew Your Mind on the meaning of life. Such different evolving meaning have filled in people's minds and life worldwide. Our human beings to develop in knowledge, in science, in technology, and in social and political institutions, and reach the most fruitful era where we are living today. Now it's your turn to reinvent yourself, even the whole generation, to search, to redefine, and to rebuild your new life with new meaning. Don't know where to start? First, let's look up what we could have in our choice categories. Luckily, you are in the age of information explosion and in an age of amazing civilization accumulations to make tremendous types of life choices for your new version of meaning of life as you wish. If you are a nerd, follow Plato and Aristotle to fill your life with knowledge and practice for good. If you are an inventor, follow humanities and post-humanities with all kinds of possible scientific and technological attempts. If you are an entrepreneur, follow pragmatism or utilitarianism to gain wealth and fame. If you are a political elite, follow liberalism or conservatism to achieve social well-being. If you are a cynic, Follow your style to be happily and creatively. You are standing in front of maximum freedom ever in human civilizations. See, so many options in front of you. Pick up one and build what you need. Even you are able to combine those 2 or 3 together to customize what fits into you and what you are interested in doing. If none of them fits into you, create and cast a new one for yourself. Anyway, the future of your life depends on nothing but your creation for yourself.